What up, everyone? It's Boy Spot here, and today I decided to react to No Fun Allowed on at Disney. I was gonna say on, but I said it right. No fun allowed at Disney. And sure, there's no fun to look at it because he looks horrifying, horrifying. Scott, is there no way I could flip this camera? Oh no. Just look at this poster. Hold on. Yeah. I think I got it. What is that? What the fuck is that? Alright, y'all. Alright, y'all. Let's not wasting time. Let's take a look. No fun.
I'm glad that flounder design doesn't look like it's going to actually be in the movie.
Well, I'm glad this is not designed like that because it looks horrible. Alright, just like that. Anyway, let's go.
I'm glad that flounder design doesn't look like it's going to actually be in the movie. It looks like it's in the same vein as Ugly Sonic. I wonder what the actual designs of the animals in this movie will look like. Oh, the opposite extreme. Great. It's the Lion King.
Hey, look. He's smiling like... That's gay.
All over again. Sebastian's character design was recently leaked on Twitter, and it looks like a realistic crab. The only notable thing about it is that it has big eyes, but it's severely lacking all the personality and charm the original had. Also, it looks like there were a few frames in the trailer that revealed Flounder's actual design, and he's just a fish. A literal fish. That's fun. These hyper-realistic designs are
I've seen that movie before. I thought it was
personality and character the originals had just from their designs. And in my opinion, don't do the film any favors. When Sebastian sang Under the Sea in the original, he was full of emotion and passion, which came through in his character design and how he expressed himself. But how is he supposed to do that as a hyper-realistic crab? Probably the best he can do is dance like in the crab rave meme. I just don't know if this scene can really work in a hyper-realistic setting, at least not without being underwhelming. Disney has said that they want to jump on current trends, like with their Hercules remake being based off of TikTok of all things. But at least Sebastian dancing wouldn't feel forced, since he's a crab in a musical. It's still kind of sad that that's realistically all he can do. Crab rave. The previous CEO of Disney said that adults weren't interested in cartoons, and even though he's no longer in charge of the company, I feel like Disney itself has this attitude. The live-action remakes aren't just kid stuff, not like those old, outdated, silly movies, and everything has to be hyper-realistic so adults will take them seriously. They just released the trailer for Peter Pan and Wendy,
I never watched that trailer.
But the way they show Neverland is so dark and gray. People were saying that the atmosphere in The Little Mermaid was really dark too, but a lot of people countered that point by saying that this was taking place deep under the sea, where there wouldn't be a lot of sunlight, which might be the case, but what's their excuse here? Neverland is supposed to be a whimsical world where kids never grow up, full of magic and wonder that you have to fly to, but here the sky is gray, the water is gray, the grass is washed out, everything looks surprisingly bleak. Even Tinkerbell, a fairy who's often portrayed as a ball of light, is surprisingly dim. Seriously, ramp up those particle effects. You can barely see any of the characters, and that's a crime when it's Tinkerbell. But I guess bright and colorful is too childish in a movie about not wanting to grow up. At least they showed more color for The Little Mermaid, like with all these jellyfish. Admittedly, the CGI doesn't look great, but unfortunately that's par for the course for these recent Disney movies, where they overwork and underpay their VFX artists, so they can keep pumping out these nostalgia bait movies and milking the MCU. So I'm not gonna blame the animators for that, and instead put the blame squarely on Disney. I did like the effects on the mermaids in the Peter Pan and Wendy trailer. The bioluminescence was really whimsical. I wish the rest of it was like this. Like Peter Pan's hideout for one. It's basically just overgrown ruins. In the original, it was an underground base that was hidden by a tree. There was even a gravity-defying pond, but I guess that's just too childish. Now things have to be dark and atmospheric. I feel like Disney's almost embarrassed of their own brand, like their films were too childish and not progressive enough. We made a video in 2018 about about how people, including Disney themselves, are not fair to the Disney princesses, and unfortunately that attitude is still here, with article after article saying that Ariel gave up her voice for a man. I made a short about how that's not true, but Disney keeps insisting, and at this point I feel like they're too far gone
I'm
to
not a
really
fan
care
of
anymore.
Disney.
How can they get their own movies so
I like
wrong?
Disney.
They're trying so hard to sell tickets based on nostalgia, while at the same time making a bunch of harsh criticisms toward the originals that aren't even accurate. I think Disney views these films as safe bets, especially considering how much money Lion King made, but I think people are starting to see through the nostalgia bait.
I saw
I'm
that
not
trailer,
sure if
but
this
I
low
never watched
quality,
it.
high quantity output is going to really pay off for them. They care a lot about their image. Apparently they're even blocking trailer reactions to Peter Pan and Wendy. Maybe Disney's starting to acknowledge that people are getting kind of tired of this, but they don't want to hear it, so they're trying to shut them down. Disney wants to look like they care about inclusivity, but instead of making new characters that people can enjoy, they just race and gender swap previously existing characters, but just for these specific movies and their tie-in merchandise, and then they move on business
looks
as usual.
weird.
Their original ideas seem a lot more interesting than these remakes. I just wish they would focus more on original projects and put more effort into them, so they don't end up with another Strange World on their hands.
Never watched
Disney
that.
still has a lot of potential as a creative powerhouse of animation, but with them churning out projects one after another, abusing their workers, and trying so desperately to distance themselves from their past, it looks like they're heading for an ugly decline. I personally have no interest in seeing Ant-Man and the Wasp 3, and it looks like I'm not the only one who feels that way. It literally broke records for biggest second week drop-off, and the third week was even worse. Ironic how The Little Mermaid was the start of the Disney Renaissance, and now we could really use another one. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Are you hopeful for these remakes?
I mean, I liked it, but I wouldn't mind if they change that because the anime is still look like this. In live action one, they have to change it like that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't mind that because I hope it did pretty well on it. I mean, it's about part I have to say about that. Yeah, I'm just hope this movie's gonna be good, but no. I mean, it's still continue.
Or do you think they're just cash grabs? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Special thanks to @HorseheadBackup on Twitter.
I think it's about it's my Snapchat, but long outro. Anyway, I suppose as always, I'll see you in next peace of one.